I've had this video in the works for a really long time now, and after many delays, I finally get to upload it. Today, we're beginning the recreation of World War II in modded Minecraft, but I'm not just doing this for the sake of building, although that is pretty fun. In fact, I'm working on a custom map for a big team-based multiplayer battle between a carrier fleet and an airbase with a bunch of players all flying planes and shooting anti-aircraft cannons, trying to destroy the other team's command center. But the best part is that the participants are actually all of you guys. Once the map is finished, I'll be doing a sort of raffle to randomly select players from my Discord server to compete in the event. More details will come later on. What we currently have here is a battleship modeled after the USS Alabama. Why specifically that ship? Well, because I've actually visited it IRL when I was down in Florida and near the area a few years back. You could walk around all inside of it and on top. It was pretty cool. I had time-lapsed the entire build process with replay mod, but unfortunately, due to mod updates and additions or something, I don't really know what, the time-lapse files corrupted and it was just a huge pain. I also apologize for the lack of any sort of upload schedule at the moment. Hopefully, I'll be able to get back to one soon, but I'm doing the best I can. Our stuff has been pretty crazy recently. It's been a whole thing. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on the World War II competition I've got planned. And as always, if you like what you see here, be sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Now on with the video. I think that is sort of a brief tour is in order for this battleship before we start blowing it up and doing all that fun stuff. I'll give you an overview of the functional parts of this because there are actually a lot of functional parts of some of my favorite things in this. Obviously, there's a lot of cannons here. Not all of them are manually fired though. Some of these are automatic like these. They do not like to render though. These are basically just sniper rifles that will automatically fire at any mob. So if we were to summon a blaze like this, summon a blaze, it gets instantly destroyed because these turrets don't like mobs. They also don't like players, except for me. I'm on my main account right now, but if I switch to my alt account, which I do later in the video, they don't like me very much, and they do a huge amount of damage to players. Of course, over here we've got ourselves the giant cannons here. They're actually made up of 3 separate artillery cannons that shoot artillery shells. I'll give you a demonstration. I'll also try shooting an actual ship with one of these in a little bit. It's pretty cool. You can see here, actually you can't really see, but that was the artillery shell, and it'll probably just despawn, I guess. We've got a lot of more autocannons over here, and then we have these, which are supposed to be like the medium cannons, or kind of actual anti-aircraft guns, as far as I know. I had to mix and match a lot of weapons from Flans to actually get something like that looked meaningful and worked. So these things, they don't really do block damage, but they do a lot of player damage, and they do a lot of vehicle damage to planes and other turrets and stuff like that. That's essentially it for the outside. It goes pretty far below the waterline. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff on the inside, which I won't spend too much time on. Well, I'll give you a brief tour here. We've got an interior hallway here. This goes up to the command bridge, which is one level up. This is a command bridge. We've got a nice little phone and a little book if you're bored and you want to do some reading, or maybe it's like a journal or something. We got the weather radar as well. Down here, there's like a meeting room with another phone. You can actually sit in these chairs, by the way, which is pretty cool. Of course, down here we've got ourselves a vending machine, a little Coke dispenser, a creeper cola. You always got to have that. Looks like some sort of slime and Enderman drink down there. Not sure how good that would be. You never know though. What do we even have here? We actually have actual branch. We just have Doritos. We could get some Doritos down there if you really wanted. We got a little power cable here. It's one of 2 power lines that like goes down the sides of the ship to connect to all the various turrets because they require power to be functional. And if we keep going this way, you're probably hearing something if you listen. And that something is a steam turbine down here. Right here we've got a big steam turbine boiler set up to produce power for all the ship's autocannons, like the automatic anti-aircraft guns. This is probably my favorite part of the whole ship because it's actually functional. If you destroy the steam turbine, then obviously the power is going to shut off and most of the cannons will turn off. A few of them are linked to capacitors so they can run a little bit longer unless you actually blow up the blocks themselves. Go up here, we have like a little infirmary area, a bunch of like beds and stuff like that, a little office seating area back there with a nice lamp. Continue on in this direction. We've got the cafeteria. We got some ice cream, some cakes, and then we have bananas and a bunch of apples and stuff. There's even like a fridge back here. It's a very modern looking fridge. Got some weapon crates here. This goes up to the first turret. And then there's just a big storage area here with some stuff behind it. But that's basically it for the interior. Or should I say that's it for the interior that is accessible and visible, that is not dangerous. So if we go into spectator mode, we're going to go to the very front of the ship, the bow here. And you'll see that behind these weapon crates there is a lot of stuff. There is TNT, and this fluid is napalm. So you light it on fire, it's going to create a big fire, I guess, and it will light the TNT. If you go down here, behind these crates, there's more napalm and more TNT. And if you look throughout various parts of the ship, you can see little pockets of this stuff scattered in various places. There is a lot of napalm and TNT in this area. A lot of this is solid TNT and napalm, so very dangerous. And there's also a lot down here, below the waterline, very close to the boilers and the steam turbine. Speaking of destruction, I think I'm just going to take this turret here, right next to these other glitched ones, and shoot an artillery shell over here where I'm aware of the explosives on the inside. Oh. Oh, there we go. Finally. Finally we got that to work. Oh, yep. It triggered a chain reaction. Okay. That was a lot of damage, but that worked pretty well. Normally you won't be shooting your other ships with your own weapons like that of that power, but you can see that's what happens when you hit it just right and the TNT sets off a chain reaction. In other words, it blew up all the systems down here, caused a ton of damage, and I call that a success. Alright, so it's now time for the real play test for this battleship. How well does it work against planes when planes are trying to bomb it and strafe it and all of that stuff? Is it too hard? Is it too easy to blow it up with a plane? That's what we need to find out now. Alright, here we go, guys. I'm on my second account now. In other words, all of those automatic anti-aircraft turrets are very hostile to me. They do not like me, and they will do their best to kill me if they can hit me while I'm in my plane. I've got a combination of fire bombs and just large bombs, so we'll see what kind of damage we can cause while trying not to die. Oh no, what happened here? Okay, the game just crashed. Nice. I blew up the battleship so hard that it just crashed the game. Here's a replay of it using the replay mod so we can kind of see what happened in a little bit more in depth. I hit that area right there with a firebomb and it lit it all on fire, detonated the TNT, but something weird happened and I somehow crashed the game. Now, from the future, this is future me speaking, I did blow that area up a few other times off camera. It didn't crash again, so I don't know what the deal was. Luckily, the world wasn't corrupted. I thought it might have been corrupted after the crash, but it was just fine. It reloaded. It must have just been a particle that broke it. That's what it said in the error report. The ship was very destroyed. when I came back. You can see a little bit of it here in slow motion before it crashed, but this is what it looked like when I came back. All of the inside was pretty much gone. There was not really much of the multi-blocks left. Certainly no power going to any of the turrets anymore. And it was a pretty good success. That was a demonstration of the chain reaction where you blow up the top part, and enough of the TNT goes far enough down that it will blow up the stuff below the water line, which is very difficult to actually, like, probably hit on its own because the water doesn't really work well with explosions. That weird teleport right there was me getting sniped out of the cockpit finally by one of the automatic turrets. Right as I was watching the thing blow up, I died. Very unfortunate timing, but the turrets do work, as you can see there. And with that, I think our first playtest of the battleship was a big success. It wasn't like overly difficult to destroy, but it wasn't easy either. It didn't just suddenly disintegrate with one bomb hit, which is what I was a little bit afraid of. So that part was good. And the auto cannons, the anti-aircraft guns worked pretty well. And those medium turrets there, if players are manning them, they will obliterate the plane in like one hit. So it's very dangerous if players are actually using them. But that's where we're getting this video for today, guys. The next part of the World War II building series will be constructing the aircraft carrier. So that is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if we'll have it be nuclear powered. We'll have to see, but you never know. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Sbeev, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream. Bye.